Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. A bit more closure tonight, so a sad story. 3 weeks after a family float trip turned deadly near Livingston.
Authorities have now recovered the body of a 15-year-old boy from the Yellowstone River after the family's boat capsized and also claimed the life of his mother.
More than 3 weeks after he went missing, 15-year-old James Anderson's body is back home with his family. Anderson
was recovered Sunday near Springdale, Montana, about 20 miles from where he went missing back in July. Park County and Gallatin County Sheriff offices say a fisherman discovered the body Sunday and quickly alerted authorities.
Members of the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office responded immediately and recovered the body of Anderson, who is the son of Gallatin County Sheriff's Captain Jim Anderson. The boy went missing July 27th when the family's drift boat capsized after it hit a bridge pylon at the Highway 89 bridge east of Livingston.
Anderson's mother, Angie, also died in that accident.
Jim Anderson and his daughter were able to make it safely to shore.
Montana's big sky is filled with smoke from wildfires from one side of our state to the other.
The recent rain is helping wash some of that smoke from the air and give our lungs a much needed break. When the rain started Saturday, the air in Billings was considered moderately unhealthy, but then inched closer to unhealthy levels.
And by Sunday, the air quality in the Magic City and the surrounding areas soared into the unhealthy range. But we can tell you there's been some gradual improvement throughout today. The air getting safer by the hour.
Monitoring both the smoke and rain in our skies, Q2 Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire joins us. Bob, how much rain did we get?
Quite a bit of stuff we haven't seen in a while, but let me show you. We got the top 5 numbers here at Billings Heights. That is the big winner today. What they wound up with is, well, if I'm hitting the button and nothing's happening. There we go. Billings Heights had 1.44 inches when you get it all counted up from Saturday midnight until this afternoon. And look at that. In other places like Ekalaka had 1.27 inches. Busby had 1.12. Joliet had a little over 1 inch of rainfall, and Billings Airport 0.83. And guess what, folks? It is still raining out there. We still got a chance for some more showers. Big batch of rain moving into the Bozeman area. That'll probably move in here about 11:30 tonight or so. We'll have more on that in a few more minutes.
All right. Thanks so much, Bob.
In Glacier National Park, the Howe Ridge fire holding steady tonight. This after it nearly doubled in size over the weekend to an estimated 7,800 acres.
But incoming winds could spell more trouble. Now, crews are working quickly to protect structures with sprinkler systems as hotshot crews work to create more containment lines.
Firefighters are also using pumps to limit the fire spread toward the parks going to the Sun Road. The fire's rapid growth over this past weekend forced campers and National Park Service employees to evacuate on Sunday.
Now, that fire now making one family's harrowing trip viral. A man and his father desperately trying to escape the flames.
Now, this video taken shortly after the lightning-sparked Howe Ridge blaze happened a weekend ago. DeMarco Morgan has the latest for us tonight.
I think we can drive through this. What? Holy bacon shit.
Surrounded by towering flames, Justin Bilton and his father frantically tried to escape.
Dad, this is insane. I know. We don't want to get trapped in here.
You can hear the panic in Justin's voice as he navigates his car down a narrow mountain trail.
You can't see, just go easy now. Easy.
Dad, the car is heating up. It's going to explode.
We're all right.
Oh, Jesus, God, help us.
See the flames that big and for that far was absolutely terrifying. It was like it was unearthly. It was like driving into hell.
Bilton says he feared for his life as the dark smoke made seeing the road nearly impossible. A fallen tree blocked their one way out.
Good, you're doing good.
Oh, my God. Dad, we can't get out.
Once we got to that downed tree, you know, my heart just dropped, and that's when I thought we were dead. I thought there was no way we could back up through what we had just come through.
Bilton put the car in reverse, driving back to their lakeside campsite where they flagged down a boat. The car was destroyed in the fire.
I just know that we were lucky. It wasn't our time to go yet, so maybe there's some higher power that has a purpose for me and my dad here.
Thankfully, we can tell you that Justin and his father both survived and did not suffer any injuries.
Now, fire officials say they do not expect the Howe Ridge fire to be fully contained until November.
Just like that, summer is over and school back in session for some Billings College students. Now, of course, you really wouldn't know that nearly 1,000 students are back on campus at Rocky Mountain College today. That's because today's rain kept many of them inside for much of the day. Now, this promises to be an exciting year for Rocky as the college opens its new science building. The campus's newest addition officially opens in a ribbon-cutting ceremony this Wednesday. Rocky, one of the first colleges to be back in class this year. Both Montana State University and the University of Montana will resume classes 1 week from today on August 27th. MSU Billings students will be back in school on the 5th of September.
The documentary film Dark Money, playing in several Montana theaters this week, focuses primarily on Montana political figures who want to shed more light on campaign spending. But it doesn't talk much to those who believe that scrutiny is not always warranted. MTN's Mike Dennison spoke with one of these groups and files this report.
The film Dark Money takes aim at groups that promote political causes but don't divulge details on where they get their money. One of these groups is the Montana chapter of Americans for Prosperity, which is featured prominently in portions of the film. AFP Montana Director David Herbst says the group has a policy of not divulging its donors, who it believes are entitled to their privacy. AFP is a conservative group that promotes free market policies and issues. The group has ties to Koch Industries. The company is operated by David and Charles Koch, who've spent millions promoting conservative causes. Herbst says AFP Montana often communicates with voters about issues, and when it does, is not trying to influence elections. He says its donors or anyone else should be able to spend money on this communication without fear of economic or political retaliation if they were publicly known. But under Montana's 2015 disclosure law, AFP would have to identify its donors and spending if its communications mention a political figure in Montana within 60 days of an election or distribution of ballots. Herbst says the law has prevented AFP Montana from educating the public in that time period, thus restricting its free speech. But the chief sponsor of the law, Republican State Representative Frank Garner of Kalispell, says AFP's arguments against disclosure don't hold water. He told MTN News Monday if candidates and their campaign donors are disclosed and open to criticism, then the same principle should apply to donors to groups influencing elections. And he says AFP and groups like it are clearly trying to influence elections. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Montana's disclosure law does not apply to candidates running for federal office in Montana, such as U.S. House or U.S. Senate.
Still to come on tonight's 5:30 News, we're taking a look back at 100 years of celebrating the history and the heritage of Crow Fair.
And in sports tonight, Rocky opens the football season Thursday. Hear what the team says about facing Carroll.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire and sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.